Could you imagine that there was a time when everyone was running home as the sun went down and the first streetlights turned on? Come along with us on a trip back to the 1970s, a time so divergent from today that for modern children, it may seem as unusual as an alien country. In this video, we're looking into everything that made childhood in the 1970s unique. From the simplicity of outdoor play to the excitement of Saturday morning cartoons, which were the 70s versions of SpongeBob or The Simpsons. We'll explore how, as a result, the so-called simple activities of that generation gave rise to a generation of people who loved independence, imagination, and a wild spirit that, in many ways, seems to be somewhat lost in today's digital world. We will nostalgically look back at the great times of sticker exchanges, the thrill of biking without an end destination, and the shared experience of having only a few TV channels. Why stick around? This journey will not only deepen your understanding of this era, but also open your eyes to the fact that some 70s hobbies have really played a role in shaping the creative, strong personalities of those children from decades ago. This is not just a walk down memory lane, it is a life lesson in how play and limitation are now intertwined. So strap in as we take you on an emotional roller coaster that is not only educational but also very entertaining and exhilarating. Feeling that tingling anticipation yet? Well, get ready to crank it up a notch because we're about to dive into some seriously groovy territory. But before we do, take a moment to imagine a world without smartphones, streaming services, or social media. Can't picture it? Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. Well, let's get to work. You know, it is the 70s and there is excitement everywhere in the world. The air was thick with sounds of disco beats, and everyone you looked at had on flamboyant attires symbolizing individuality. However, it was not all about the glitter. Rather, this decade saw some significant cultural and technological changes. Plus, its implications went far beyond glitz and glamour. The 1970s were indeed a time of major cultural transformations as well as technology shifts. In other words, it can be said that the 70s, whose effects are still felt today, were a period when revolutionary changes occurred concerning both culture as well as technology. Now, let's break it down further. Here are 13 things from the 1970s that kids today will never understand. Number 1. Pet rocks. Back in the 1970s, there was a really strange trend where people bought rocks. Rocks. Not just any rocks though, ones with googly eyes glued on them, or even some with tiny houses built for them. Most people thought that these rock pets used to be fun and nice. The simplicity in this may appear strange, but remembering how sometimes we get unimaginable joy from the most ordinary things. It caught on like wildfire and revealed how happiness can be found in unexpected places. Number 2. Disco fever. In the 1970s, there was a type of music called disco, which became extremely popular. It wasn't just music, it was an entire lifestyle. Think about shiny dance floors packed with people moving to the rhythm and laughing wholeheartedly. What could be more fun than that? Maybe you've seen John Travolta acting as if he's possessed in a film called Saturday Night Fever. That was how big all these disco things were. Moreover, we had an incredible singer named Donna Summer who sang about nothing but disco melody. This was an era when people wanted just fun and enjoyment, so they went for disco songs. Number 3. CB radios. Before everybody started using mobile phones, there used to be this thing called CB radio. These were like walkie-talkies, but larger and having more power. They could be seen among truckers as well as everyday drivers who used them to talk to each other on the road. But CB radios were more than just idle chatter. They created their own subculture with its own language spoken by secret codes. It felt like belonging to some sort of secret club where everyone spoke the same language. Number 4. Mood rings. Let's talk about something really cool. Mood rings. They're like magic rings that change color depending on how you're feeling. So if you're happy, it might turn one color, and if you're sad, it might turn into another. People liked them because they were amusing to wear, and they could initiate interesting conversations. Nevertheless, scientists never got sure if they really worked or not. Although they were not necessarily very precise, everybody still thought that it was great to put one on. they added a bit of fun and mystery to any outfit. Number 5. Pong. Long before the days of Xbox and PlayStation, there was Pong. This simple yet addictive video game paved the way for the gaming industry as we know it today. There weren't many options, there stood only one game called Pong, and no one imagined being bored from it. With its monochrome graphics and straightforward gameplay, Pong captured the imaginations of gamers everywhere. It was an unforgettable era, truly. Number 6. 8-track tapes. Back then, instead of vinyl records, we had 8-track tapes. Those were big cartridges that changed our way of listening to music so that we could take our favorite songs wherever we wanted. Sometimes they got stuck or sounded weird, but lots of people still loved them in the 70s. People didn't care what problems came in between, they were just busy enjoying all that they had. Even though it was the 70s, for them, it truly felt that they were ahead of their times. With 8-track tapes, they went all cool among friends, showing off their trendy gadgets. Number 7. The rise of punk rock. As disco dominated the airwaves, punk rock emerged as a rebellious counterpoint to the mainstream. With its DIY ethos and raw energy, punk rock gave voice to a generation disillusioned by the status quo. Bands like the Sex Pistols and the Ramones became synonymous with anti-establishment sentiment, paving the way for alternative music movements to come. Number 8. The Sony Walkman. Before Spotify and Apple Music, there was the Sony Walkman. This portable cassette player revolutionized the way we consume music, enabling us to take our favorite tunes along with us anywhere in the world. You could be jogging in the park or traveling on a bus, your life soundtrack was always just an arm's length away thanks to the Walkman. Number 9. Waterbeds. In that 1970s decade, waterbeds were all the rage. Water was filled inside them, making them feel soft and bouncy. People loved how they hugged their bodies like waves of sleepiness surrounding them. It was a fashionable way to fall asleep and feel like you're floating. There were no multi-purpose mattresses like we do today. They had to make real efforts, but they were happy to do it. It was not only comfort they looked for, but the trends and fashions they were enjoying were to die for. Number 10. Platform shoes. Disco enthusiasts especially adored towering platform shoes during the 70s. Platform shoes made any outfit appear taller and more glamorous with their thick soles and sky-high heels. Thus, they were popular on dance floors everywhere. Number 11. Manual typewriters. Typewriters were vital implements for writing and office work before the computerization of everything, including word processing. Today's kids might have trouble imagining using a typewriter with its mechanical keys and having to manually return the carriage at the end of every line. It must have taken hours, but each minute was worth it. At least that's what we imagine. Number 12. Drive-in theaters. In the 70s, drive-ins were a hot spot for movie lovers. They were unlike the multiplexes that are popular today, as they offered people an opportunity to watch movies within their cars while having snacks or refreshments, sometimes having a picnic. Many children nowadays may never participate in pastimes of viewing movies under the moonlight on big outdoor screens. Number 13. Rotary phones. Everybody used rotary phones in the 1970s. However, children now will never know how it felt. It's all about smartphones and touchscreens, yet they may never truly comprehend what it was like to dial a phone number by rotating a dial and waiting for it to return to its original position for each digit. That's it, folks. 13 things from the 70s that kids today will never know about. The 70s brought us disco balls and CB radios, among others. It was a decade of change, innovation, and most importantly, one not easily forgotten. If you ever start feeling nostalgic about the past, then just remember there's an entire generation out there who cannot even wrap their heads around how magical the 1970s were. Thanks for taking this journey with us back down memory lane, and until next time, stay tuned.